This conference will now be recorded.
So in today's session, we are going to discuss about the email integration. How can we integrate the third-party systems with our Salesforce through email integration? So this is comes under the inbound email feature, which will comes under the inbound email feature. Okay, now, for example, come to a general scenario. Assume that I have a third-party system. I have a third-party application. I have a third-party application, and then I'm having my Salesforce application. So I have my Salesforce application. So these are the two different applications are available. This third-party application has been built by using very legacy technologies. Okay, very outdated technologies are the old technologies. Okay, now, for example, this application they have built very long back, I think almost 20 years, 30 years before, by using the technologies available at that time, by using the programming languages available at that time. And then they're using this application since very long time. It is working very fine. There is no issues. Now, they ask us to have the integration of this third-party application with our Salesforce. But generally, whenever if you want to integrate that Salesforce application with any third-party systems, we are using the two APIs, either REST API or SOAP API. But the third-party system is not supporting both REST and SOAP because it's a very legacy application, very older application which they have built very long back. At that time, those programming languages are not supporting the REST and the SOAP in order to have the integration. Then how can we have the integration of my third-party system with my Salesforce? Because Salesforce will support both REST and SOAP. But whenever we are going to be integrating the Salesforce with any third-party or third-party application with Salesforce, first of all, we have to understand the capability of third-party system. We have to understand the third-party system's capability, like what kind of APIs it will support, whether it will support REST or SOAP or both, or it won't support both. We need to understand that. We need to identify the capability of the third-party system. Then only we can able to use the respective APIs. Suppose if the third-party system will be supporting only REST API, then we can go with the REST implementation. Suppose if the third-party system is supporting only SOAP, then we need to go with the SOAP API. Suppose if it is third-party system is supporting both, then we can decide that. Okay, then we can decide which one will be very easy to implement, which one is flexible to implement. Suppose if the third-party system is not supporting both, then we need to look for an alternative. If the third-party system is not supporting both REST and SOAP API, then what is the alternative mechanism to have the integration? So at that time, Salesforce has given a feature called as email services. With the help of this email services, we can able to have the integrations also. That possibility is available. Okay. Now, so in this case, whenever if the third-party systems are not supporting both REST and SOAP, then the alternative mechanism is we can go with that email integration. Okay, email services. With the help of that email services, we can able to have the integration of the third-party system with your Salesforce instance. That possibility is available to you. We can use the email services in order to have the integration of Salesforce with the third-party systems. Okay. So now sometimes in the interview point of view, they are raising a question. I have a very older application which I'm using since almost some 40 to 50 years back. Okay, since that 40 years I'm using that same application. The application is very complex application. That it is a very stable application. There is no issues in that one. So I'm utilizing this application on my daily activities regularly. Still I'm using that application, but now I want to integrate that application with my Salesforce. But Salesforce is the latest programming, so which will be supporting all the APIs, REST and SOAP, all these APIs will be supporting by Salesforce, but the third-party application is not supporting both. Then at that time, we can go with that email services also as one of the integration point with the third-party to Salesforce. That possibility is available. Okay, now. So now here in this case, if the third-party systems are not supporting both REST and SOAP APIs to be used to integrate, then at that time we can go with that email services. With the help of inbound email services, we can able to have the integrations. Okay, that possibility is available to you. Okay, now. So in this case, so as part of that email programming, okay, I hope everybody is aware of that email programming concept. We have discussed about that email programming. Not only using workflows, not only using process builder, okay, to send some email notifications, we can use email programming also as part of Apex. As part of Apex programming language, Salesforce has given a feature called as email programming. With the help of this email programming, we can able to send the email notifications and we can receive the email notifications also, both. Workflows and process builders are purely having just the outbound services. Outbound services means what? Just the email will be getting sending to that external email ID. Through workflows also, just we can send the email notification. Through process builder also, we can send the email notification. But the workflows in the process builders are not having the capability to receive the email notification. But only the email programming is having the capability that it can able to perform both. Through email programming, we can send the email notifications and we can receive the email notifications also from the external email IDs. From the external email IDs, we can able to receive the email notifications also. That possibility is available. So at that time, whenever if you're sending the email notifications from the Salesforce to the third-party system, okay, third-party email IDs or external email IDs, then we are using that outbound email services. So we can use outbound email services. By using this outbound email services, we can able to send the email notifications. We can send the email notifications to the external email IDs with the help of outbound email services. So then how can we send that email notification? In order to send that email notification to the external email IDs, Salesforce has given two ready-made classes as part of messaging namespace. As part of messaging namespace, Salesforce has given two ready-made classes. First one is messaging dot single email message class. Second one is messaging dot mass email message class. So these are the two classes has been given by Salesforce as part of outbound email services inside your email programming. But by using that email programming, not only sending the email notifications, we can receive the email notifications also. For that one, we are going to be using that inbound email services. Inbound email services, which are used to receive the emails from the external email IDs. If somebody is sending some email notification, then I can receive those email notification from my Salesforce instance. Based on that email notification, we can able to perform some operations. Okay, we can receive the email notifications also from the third-party systems or the third-party email IDs, and then based on those email IDs, based on that email content, based on the email subject and the from address, to address, attachments, body, based on that we can perform some DML operations inside your Salesforce instance. that flexibility is available. At that time, we have to use an interface called as messaging dot inbound email handler interface. Okay, inbound email handler interface. So with the help of that inbound email handler interface, we can receive that email notifications also. Okay, not only sending the email notifications, we can receive the email notifications with the help of inbound email handler interface. Inside this inbound email handler interface, there is a method is available. The interface contains some ready-made methods. As part of this inbound email handler interface, we have a method called as handle inbound email. We have a method called as handle inbound email method. Now, this handle inbound email method will be receiving the email notification which has been sent by the external email ID, and whatever the email that we have received, we can able to split that email into the various small parts. We can able to collect each and every part of that email, like as two addresses separate, CC addresses separate, BCC addresses separate, reply to separate, subject separate, content separate, everything we can make it separate. Based on those values, we can able to perform some DML operations inside your Salesforce instance. For that one, we are using some different classes also as part of this. We'll see those classes also. Okay, now. So in this case, whenever if you want to receive some email notification from the external email IDs, then at that time, we can go with that messaging dot inbound email handler interface. By using this interface, we can receive that email notification which has been sent by the external people or the external email IDs from Gmail, from any email notification, whatever. We can receive that email notification, and then we can send that email notification to that method handle inbound email, which will be receiving that email notification. It will be dividing that all the email content into the various small parts. Based on the data, we can perform some DML operations inside your Salesforce instance. Okay, now, so in this case, how can we go with this inbound email services? Okay, what is that requirement, and then how to implement, what other classes that we are using as part of this, the email integration. Now let's see. Okay, now for example, come to a general scenario. Assume that I have an application, a third-party application. For example, I have an application with the name Service Generator. Service Generator or Service Tag Generator. Okay, now, for example, assume that I have an organization, a manufacturing organization. They keep on manufacturing the various products. It may be any product here. Whenever they are manufacturing the product, for every product they are going to be allocating a unique identification code. They are allocating one unique identification code, which is called as a service tag. Which is called as a service tag. We can buy any product, like as a mobile. There is a unique product code is available. A service tag will be available. Whenever you are purchasing a SIM card, also it is having a unique code. When you buy a laptop, also a service tag will be available. When you buy a TV or a washing machine, fridge, or it may be set-top box in order to get that internet access. Okay, anything. For every product, there will be a service tag is available, a unique identification code. For example, as part of this organization also, they keep on manufacturing the various products with a different models, with a different configuration, with a different features. But for every product, okay, they would like to use a service tag. Based on that service tag only, they would like to track the whole information. Okay, they would like to track the whole information. Okay, so now on what date they have manufactured this product, and then to which customer we have sold out this product, when they have sold out, from which distributor we can transfer this product to that customer's place, and then since how long time customer is using that product, what kind of complaints has been raised by the customer on this product. Okay, so what kind of warranties we have offered, what kind of discounts we have offered, everything we can track based on this service tag. Now, so now generally as of now here, okay, as of now we are manufacturing the products, and for every product we are going to be generating a service tag. Okay, generally when you go to any product, like us, when you go to any shopping mall, on every product they are going to be adding a barcode. That barcode internally having the service tag will be available, unique code will be available. Okay, so based on that unique code, they are going to be tracking internally how many products we have, how many we have sold out, what item is available, what item is not available here. Okay, so based on that service tag, when suppose for example customer wants to purchase that product here, then sometimes they are going to be exchanging that product also. Okay, they're exchanging the product also. Okay, like for example, whenever you're purchasing any wardrobes or jeans or t-shirts or whatever, for every item they will be having that barcode is available. Suppose after purchasing that there is an option of exchange, like there is a small damage is there which I was unable to identify during the purchase of that. When I go to my home, when you look into that here, I found some damages also, so that I can go to that branch, I can go to that shop, and then I can able to make it exchange. There is an exchange period is available here, not always. Okay, after using that we can't exchange it here. Before use we can able to exchange that too within 1 week. Okay, so at that time here, whenever the customer has returned that product, then they would like to identify that here, what is that product code, what is that service tag. Based on that they will return the product to that the plant at the manufacturing plant, so that they would like to recover that and they can able to give that new product also. In this case, in order to track that entire information of that product, they would like to use a ID that is called a service tag. To generate that unique tag, they are going to be using an application called a service tag generator. Okay, service tag generator. Now all the products information they're storing inside the Salesforce application. Okay, all the products information they're storing inside that Salesforce application. For example, I'm having a Salesforce application. I'm having a Salesforce application or a Salesforce system. So I'm having a Salesforce system. Now, as of now, what we did is we are going to using that service tag generator, which I'm using since very long time. And then by using this service tag generator application, we are generating a service tag. That service tag I would like to copy. I'm going to be attaching along with the product here. Because inside my Salesforce system, I'm having a object called as product object. For every product, we are generating the service tag, which we are using that service tag generator application. Now, so in this case here, as of now, we are going to be using the service tag generator application, generating the service tag. We'll copy that service tag and we are using inside that Salesforce application. Upon creating a new product record, we are going to be placing this service tag generated by this application inside my product object here. Along with the product record, I'm storing this service tag also. So as of now, we are doing this manual process. We need to go to the service tag application, generate that service tag, copy that one, go to your Salesforce instance, create a new product record. In that product record service tag place, we need to place this one. We are copy and pasting the data here. This is a manual process we are doing since very long time. But now my client said that keep on, we are manufacturing so many number of items every day because our business has been keep on growing. So we are manufacturing so many products. If I'm adding the service tag manually for that one, we need to appoint a separate person who will be taking care of this activity. For that one, I don't want to maintain a separate person just to generate the service tag and to copy and paste the service tag into that each and every product record. For that one, I want to make this process automated. Okay, I want to make this process automated here. So now in this case, how can we make this process automated over here? Now, in this case, I would like to generate that service tag, and then service tag generator is going to be generating that service tags keep on. I would like to copy those service tags. I would like to attach into my Salesforce product records automatically by default here. For that one, I would like to make this process automated. For that one, whatever the service tag has been generated by this service tag generator application, I would like to copy that service tag into my Salesforce application. That service tag I would like to attach along with the product card automatically. Then what we can do in this case, I need to integrate that the service tag generator application with my Salesforce system. But the problem is, but the challenge is, service tag generator application will not support both REST and SOAP. It is not supporting both REST and SOAP. It is a very legacy application because my business has been started almost some 40 years before. So at that time, we have developed this application, service tag generator. Since that 40 years, keep on we are using the same application. So that here, I don't want to decommission this application. I want to continue to use this application still. So now I want the integration of the service tag generator application with my Salesforce. But it is a very legacy application which is not supporting both REST and SOAP. Then how can we do that? Now, in this case here, in this case, okay, now in this case, we can able to identify an alternative mechanism. If the service tag application or the third-party application which is not supporting both REST and SOAP, then we need to look into that alternative here. Then we need to look into that alternative. In this case, we have identified that whenever this application is generating a service tag, automatically that service tag it is sending as an email notification. Okay. Now this application is sending that email notification to a specific email ID. They're having one email ID is available here. They're having one email ID. They're having one email ID. So now service tags at somedel.com, for example. They're having an email ID. To this email ID, it is sending that email notification. Now, as soon as a new service tag has been generated by this application, now that service tag it is going to be enclosing inside an email notification. It is placing that service tag information, okay, inside an email notification. Now, so now inside this email notification, it is adding that service tag. Service tag is available inside this email notification. Now, this email notification, it is sending to that email ID here. Okay, it is sending to that email ID. So this is the email ID they have. To this email ID, it is sending that email notification. From there, they will copy their pasting into my Salesforce system as of now. It's a manual process they are doing right now. Now, I don't want to go ahead with this manual process. I want to make it automated. Because if I'm generating maximum of some 10 products or 20 products per day, then I can go with the manual process. But if you're manufacturing some thousands of items or millions of items per day, at that time it is difficult to map the service tag with each and every product manually. For that one, I would like to go with an automated process. So as soon as the service tags have been getting generated, it is sending the service tags information to a specific email ID here. Now I would like to capture that email notification to my Salesforce. From there, I would like to perform. I would like to attach that service tag to my product records automatically. Then what we can do in this case here, how can we implement that? So in this case, we have identified there is an alternative mechanism is available, that is email. That means the service tag generator application is sending that email notification once the tag has been generated. So now, as soon as whenever the email notification has been sent to that specific email ID, now I want to copy this email notification into my Salesforce also. Okay, I would like to copy this email notification into my Salesforce also here. Now in this case here, what we can do? Okay, how can we implement that here? For that one, in order to copy this email notification into my Salesforce system, I would like to create one email service. Okay, I need to create one email service. So now here I'm going to be creating one email service here. I'm creating one email service. I'm creating one email service. Email service is like as a listener, which is always keep on waiting to receive the email notification from third-party email IDs. Okay. email service is a listener which is always listening, it is always waiting, which is always waiting to receive the email notification from the external email IDs. So now I would like to generate one, I would like to configure one email service which will be always waiting, it will be always waiting to receive some email notifications. Now, as soon as one email notification has been generated by that service tag generator application, as soon as an email notification has been getting generated, that will be sending to that service tag @devil.com. Then one copy of that email notification I want to forward to the email service also. I would like to forward that email notification copy to my email service also. Now inside my Salesforce instance, I'm going to be preparing that. I'm going to be configuring one email service. Now this email service is always waiting to receive some email notifications. Once the email service is receiving that email notification, now I would like to collect that entire email content. I would like to split the content to the various small parts. For that one here, I'm going to be using the inbound email services here. That means inbound email classes, I'm using that like as inbound email handler interface. So for that one, we need to write some business logic. That means once the email notification has been received by that email service, what operation you want me to do? What you want me to do? For that one, we need to write that business logic here. Okay, for that one, we need to write that business logic. So for that one here, I'm going to be implementing the business logic. I'm implementing the business logic inside this. I'm having that business logic. I'm having that business logic here. This business logic is attached to the email service. This business logic is attached to that email service. So now as soon as whenever the email service is receiving one email notification, okay, as soon as whenever the email service is receiving one email notification from any of that external email ID, then that email ID will be, that email notification will be forwarding to the business logic. Now the business logic is going to be performing that respective operation. By using this business logic, they are going to be performing the respective DML operations inside this. Inside your system, we can perform what are the DML operations that you want. With the help of this business logic, we can perform what are the DML operations that you want. So by using this business logic, we can perform the DML operations. Okay. Now, so this is the implementation process here. As soon as whenever the third-party person or external person has sent one email notification, now my Salesforce system should be able to receive that email notification. In order to receive that email notification, we need to configure one email service. Now this email service will be receiving that email notification. Once the email notification has been getting received, then this email notification will be sending to the business logic part. Now the business logic we are implementing with the help of an interface called as inbound email handler interface. That means as soon as whenever your email notification has been received by Salesforce, then what needs to be done? For that one, for the inbound email services, we are using an interface called as inbound email handler interface. Okay. Now we need to collect that email content. Based on that email content, we are dividing that email content to the various small pieces, and then we can perform the respective DML operations inside your Salesforce instance. Because that possibility is available. Even though if the third-party system is not supporting both REST and SOAP, then we can go with that, the email services also as an integration point with our third-party systems. Okay, clear? So now this is the process we are going to use here. Okay, understood the concept now? So now let's see here in this case. So let's take a small use case. Okay, let's take a small business case and then try to implement this one. Now, let me explain that business use case. Now, so this is my requirement here. Okay, as part of my email service, this is my use case. Okay, now. So now as part of my implementation, this is my this is my requirement. We have an external system like as some service tag generator. service tag generator, which sends an email notification upon updating some contact records. Okay, Salesforce should receive the email notification and perform the DML operations on our contact object. Okay, Salesforce should receive that email notification and perform the DML operations in our contact object. Now in this case here, so what exactly they're expecting? Now let me explain. So now in this case here, the prerequisite is they ask us to create two fields inside the contact object. Inside my contact object, they're asking us to create two fields. One is email subject field, which is of type text, okay, which can able to have maximum of some 255 characters of content. Second one, email content, which is of type text area. Okay, they ask us to create two fields additionally inside my contact object with the name email subject and the email content. Okay, now let me explain. Inside my Salesforce instance, they ask us to create the two more fields additionally inside my contact object. You know the contact object here. So inside my contact object, various fields are available. Contact ID is there. Name is available. First name and the last name and the email ID and the email subject and the email content. Now, so this is my contact object inside my Salesforce instance. I'm having some fields. Contact ID field, first name field, last name field, email field. Inside my contact object, there is a standard field called as email. Now we are having some more fields are also available inside my contact object. Okay, so now as part of the requirement, they ask us to create two more fields inside my contact object with the name email subject and the email content here. Email subject field, and the email content field. These are the two additional fields I have created inside my contact object. So now what exactly the requirement over here? For example, we are having the customers are available. For example, take this application like some Gmail application. Okay. For example, this is some Gmail application. Assume that. So now whenever a person has sent one email notification to my Salesforce, okay, whenever a person has sent the email notification to Salesforce, now my Salesforce email service should be receiving that email notification. And then once the email notification has been getting received, then from which email address they have sent the email notification. For example, today a person has sent the email notification. His email ID is like some pawan@gmail.com. Okay, a person has sent the email notification. That person's email ID is pawan@gmail.com. As soon as the person has sending that email notification to my Salesforce system, my email service should receive that email notification. Based on that email notification has to be sent to that business logic part here. Now my business logic part will be receiving that email notification. From that email notification, it has to split each and every part from address to address, and then subject, attachments, text attachments, binary attachments, reply to, CC addresses, BC addresses, everything it has to split it out. All the parts it will be making separate. Now from that one will collect that from address. Nothing but from which email ID we have received this email notification. Based on that email ID, it has to go to my respective contact object. it has to go to my respective contact object over here. In this contact object, it has to search with this email ID, do we have any customer record is available or not? That means there is a contact record is available or not. If the contact record is available, in that contact record, now we need to update that information. What information? In that email, whatever the subject the user has sent, that subject information I want to place inside the subject field. Whatever the email content they have written, that content I want to place inside my content field. Along with that, if the person has added any attachments, those attachments I want to add with that contact record automatically by default. Okay? Understood the concept here? Now, as soon as whenever a person has sent the email notification to my Salesforce instance, then my Salesforce server will receive that email notification with the help of email service. How to configure email service, I will show you practically here. Now, in this case, once the email service is receiving that email notification, it has to send that email notification to my business logic class. Now my business logic class will be receiving that email notification. It will split each and every part of that email content to the various small pieces. Now from that pieces, it will collect that from address of that email notification. That means from which person we have received that email notification. It has to collect that from address person. Based on that email address, it has to go to my contact object. In this contact object, so if there is any email, if there is any contact record is available, I need to search with that email ID, do we have any contact record is available or not? If the contact record is available, open that contact record or collect that contact record. In that contact record's email subject field, copy the subject of that email. In that content field, copy the content of that email. Along with that, I have the respective attachments also. Okay. Now, this is the first case. Suppose, for example, with this email ID, if there is no contact record has been found. Okay, if there is no contact records are available, then I would like to create a new contact record inside that. Okay, then I would like to create a new contact record inside my contact object automatically here. Okay, based on that email notification sent by the people, I want to collect that whole information. Based on that, I'm performing some DML operations. With that email ID, if you are having any contact record, I need to update it. If there is no contact record, then I need to create that contact record into my contact object here. Okay, clear? Understood the concept now? Now, so now here in this case, as soon as whenever we are sending that email notification from Gmail or whatever, anything, so now my email service has to be get activated automatically. It will be keep on waiting to receive some email notification. Once the email notification has been getting received, it is passing that email notification to my business logic class, which will be collecting the email details. Based on that from address from which we have received that email notification, it has to search for the respective contact record based on that email field. If the contact record found, that email notification subject will be placing inside that subject field, and the content will be placing inside the content field. It will be adding the attachments also. With that email, if there is no contact record has been found, then we need to create the contact record here. Okay, then we need to create that contact record. Okay, so this is my requirement here. Then how to implement this one? Now let me explain. Now based on that received email address, we need to fetch the associated contact records by using that matching contacts. Based on the received email from address, whatever the email notification has been sent by the customer or any person, then based on that email notification received by my Salesforce, it has to collect the from address. Based on the from address, we need to collect the associated contact record. That means matching contact record we need to collect from my contact object based on that email field. If the contact record has been found, get the contact record details. If the matching contact has been found, then collect that email content subject field, email subject value that will be I'm passing into my subject field, content information I'm placing inside my content field, and then attachments I'm adding to my contact record automatically. Suppose if the contact is not available, with this email ID, we don't have any contact. There's no matching contact record. If the matching contact record is not found, then create a new contact record here. How? In that particular contact, now it requires a mandatory field, that is last name is a mandatory field inside my contact object. So whenever you are receiving that email notification, will be having the from name is available here. Based on that from name, we need to prepare that here. We need to pass that from name into the last name field, email of that subject, nothing but from address, from email address I want to pass into my email field, subject information I'm passing into the subject field, content I'm passing into the content, and then attachments I'm going to be adding to that contact record. Okay, we need to decide either contact record should be created or updated, okay, based on the availability. So whatever the email ID from which you are sending the email notification, we need to search with this email ID, do we have any contact record is exist or not. If it is available, then I would like to, okay, update that record. If it is not available, I would like to create a new contact record. Okay, clear now? So now here in this case here, okay, now here in this case, now in this case, then whenever we are receiving that email notification by my email service, then it is passing that email notification to that business logic class. Now we need to prepare that business logic class first. Then how can we receive that email notification from the external email IDs? For that one, we are going to be using an interface called as inbound email handler interface. Okay, this is one of the interface which has been given by Salesforce as part of messaging namespace, so which is used to receive the email notification sent by the third-party email IDs or the external email IDs. So that in order to receive that email notification from the external email IDs, we are using that inbound email handler interface. So that here we need to implement this interface into our class. Because here, as soon as once the email service has been receiving an email notification, simply it will collect the email notification. It is passing to that your business logic class. That's it. From there, the entire business logic we have to implement, nothing else. The email service main functionality is it is always a listener. It is always a listener. Simply it will be collecting the email notification sent by the people to the Salesforce. Based on that email notification, it will be simply passing to the business logic. That's it. Okay. Now, so in this case here, the entire operations we have to write inside the business logic itself. This business logic we are implementing with the help of inbound email handler interface. So for that one, first of all, we need to create a class. Okay, we need to create a class, okay, which should be implemented by an interface called as inbound email handler interface. Okay, we need to create a class which should be implemented by an interface called as inbound email handler interface. Now inside that class, we need to write the business logic. That business logic we need to attach to that email service, so that as soon as the email service is receiving the email notification, it will pass to my Apex class automatically. In that Apex class, we are writing that actual business logic which you want to do with those email notification. Okay, clear? Now, understood the concept or not? Okay. So now in this case, we need to implement the business logic class first. Okay. Now let me explain the steps one by one. As the implementation steps, the first step here. Okay, as a step one, create the business logic class. Create the business logic class. Once the business logic class is ready, then we need to create that, configure that email service. Configure the email service. As a step 3, send the emails to Salesforce based on the routing address. Based on the routing address. And as a step 4, test the functionality. Okay, test the functionality. These are the 4 simple steps. First of all, we need to create the business logic, because in order to create the email service, we have to, upon creating the email service, we have to attach the business logic class also over there. So that business logic class has to be prepared first. First of all, we have to write the business logic, then only we can create that email service. Like already you know, so we have discussed about the Visual Force page tab. Okay, Visual Force page tabs we have discussed as part of Visual Force programming. There, whenever if you want to create the Visual Force page tab, first of all, Visual Force page should be ready. Because upon creating the Visual Force page tab itself, we need to indicate upon click on this tab which Visual Force page you want me to open. So that we have to create the visual first page first, then only we can create that visual first page tab by attaching that page. Like the similar way here also, if you want to configure the email service, now this email service, upon configuring the email service, we have to select that business logic class. That means once the email service has been receiving one email notification, to which business logic class we need to send, to which business logic class we need to forward it. So that here we have to prepare that business logic class first. So first of all, create the business logic class by writing the required implementation, and then we need to configure the email service, and then we need to send the email notification to Salesforce based on that routing address, and then we can able to test that application functionality here. Okay. Now, as part of that business logic class, here how to prepare that business logic class. Now we'll see. Preparing the business logic class. So now this business logic class we are going to be implementing with the help of inbound email handler interface, okay, which can be done with the help of inbound email handler interface. Okay. Now, so as a step one, first of all, create a global class which should be implemented by an interface messaging dot inbound email handler interface. Create a global class which should be implemented by an interface called as messaging dot inbound email handler. For example, or some syntax. I'm giving that syntax here. Global class name implements, okay, implements messaging dot inbound email handler. This is the first step. Create a global class which should be implemented by an interface called as messaging dot inbound email handler interface. Now in this case, already you are aware of that how to implement the interfaces into our classes during the batch class, schedule class, queuable interfaces, in all these places we have used. Now tell me, if the interface contains any methods, then what we can do? If the interface is having any methods inside that, then we need to provide the implementation for those interface methods or not? Yes. Okay, whenever you are implementing any interfaces into your class, if the interface contains any methods, then for those methods we have to provide the implementation. Even though you may use, you may not use, compulsorily we have to provide the implementation. Without that, your class code will not get compiled. Okay, because as per the fundamental principle of that object-oriented programming, if you are utilizing any interface into your class, for every interface method we have to provide the implementation part. Okay. So now here in this case, so now as part of this inbound email handler interface, we have a method is available. Okay, we have a method. For that method, we need to provide the implementation part. Okay, now provide the implementation for the interface methods. For the interface methods, interface method. What is that method name? Handle inbound email. Okay, interface method handle inbound email. Now the syntax. So we have to provide that class. In that class, we have to provide that implementation for that method here. Now that method name is, that will be having the syntax global messaging dot inbound email result. This is the return type, which is indicating whether that email notification has been received successfully or not, processed successfully or not. To get that result, we are using that inbound email result. Nothing but whether the email notification has been received or processed successfully or not. For that one, we are using. When you go to the normal database operations, we are using database.save result, update result, upset result, delete result, like that. Like the similar way here, we are having the inbound email result class, which will be indicating whether that email notification has been received and processed successfully or not. Now, the method name is handle inbound email. Okay, handle inbound email. So now this is the access specifier and the return type and then method name. In this method, it is having two parameters are available. The first one is messaging dot inbound email. We can specify the reference name and the second one is messaging dot inbound envelope. These are the two classes are available here. So these are the two classes as the parameters. When coming to that inbound handle inbound email method, it is having two parameters. One is inbound email and the inbound envelope. So these two are the classes. Inbound email is a separate class. Inbound envelope is a separate class. Here we have to write the actual business logic. Okay. Here we have to write the actual business logic here. So these are the two steps. Okay, these are the two steps which we need to follow upon implementing the business logic class. These are the two classes which we need to use to implement the business logic part. Now, for example, come to a general scenario. Today, I want to courier a letter. Okay, I have prepared a letter. It is some information I have prepared inside that. I have printed some information. It may be like as a bill also, invoice also, whatever, anything, or some information I would like to send to my friend. We don't have any phone facility. I want to send it through courier or by using post or whatever. So whatever the information I would like to share with the person, I have printed, I have written that whole information on that paper. Directly can I post that paper? No. Whatever the paper is available on which I have written some information, if I'm posting the paper directly, then anybody can open the paper, they can see that information. If it is a confidential data, they can misutilize. For that one, what I want to do is, I don't want to send it directly as a single paper. I would like to get that paper, I would like to fold it, I want to place in the inside a cover, nothing but envelope. In that envelope, I am going to be placing that, and then on that envelope, what we are writing generally? On that envelope, from address to address. Okay, to address. In that envelope, what we have? Actual information is available. Like that similar way, to have that envelope, we are using that inbound envelope class, which will be having simply from address to address. That's it. In this inbound envelope class, inbound envelope is a standard class which contains only from address to address. Only these two, nothing else. Okay, only from address to addresses are available here inside this inbound envelope class. And then the actual information which you are delivering to the people, that will be there inside that inbound email. In this inbound email, will be having the actual email information like as the from address, to address, CC addresses, BCC addresses, and then reply to information, subject information, content information, attachments information, it will be text attachment, binary attachment, everything will be there inside this, okay, the inbound email class. Okay, so now inbound email class will be having the actual email information which has been received by the Salesforce. And then inbound envelope class will be holding from address and the to address, nothing but from which person we have received the email notification, to whom they have sent that notification. Both will be available inside that inbound envelope class. Now in this case, to fetch each and every part of that email, okay, to get that information, we are having the various methods are available as part of these classes here. In this inbound email class, we are having the various methods. In this inbound envelope class, we are having the various methods. What are those methods available in these classes? We'll see in tomorrow's session, and along with that, we'll see the practical part also. Okay, how can we implement this functionality we'll see the practical implementation in tomorrow's session. Okay, clear? Please be available by 7:10 max, because the people are coming by 7:30. Okay, because we are having only 1 hour of time. Okay, that is not sufficient. So please be come by 7:10 max. Okay, don't make it delay, or else by 7:10 I will start the session. Okay.
Hey Firoz. Hey Firoz. Hey Firoz.
లాస్ట్ లో వస్తానండి.
అప్లికేషన్లో షేరింగ్ తర్వాత రికార్డ్ స్పెండింగ్ అన్నట్టు కదా, అది రికార్డ్ స్పెండింగ్ అన్నట్టు కదా అప్లికేషన్ వచ్చేసి
24 hours తర్వాత ఆటోమేటిక్గా క్యాన్సిల్ అయిపోతుంది. మీరు ఆటో యాక్సెప్ట్ పెడితే మీకు యాక్సెప్ట్ అక్కడ ఆటో యాక్సెప్ట్ అయిపోతుంది. మీరు ఆటో యాక్సెప్ట్ పెడితే యాక్సెప్ట్ అయిపోతుంది, లేదంటే మీరు మాన్యువల్గా యాక్సెప్ట్ చేయాలి. అక్కడ అప్పటి వరకు ఇక్కడే ఉండిపోతుంది, పెండింగ్ లో ఉంటుంది. అక్కడ టార్గెట్ లోకి వెళ్ళేసి మీరు అక్కడ యాక్సెప్ట్ చేయాలి. యాక్సెప్ట్ చేస్తారు, ఇక్కడ సింక్ అయిపోతుంది. ఆటో యాక్సెప్ట్ ఎక్కువ.
Hey Firoz.